Drake has been teasing his long-awaited album, ICEMAN, and the snippets, yeah, they're sounding crazy. The production already feels next level. From the sound selection to the textures to those hard-hitting drums, everything just feels completely different. So today we're going to be breaking down the exact methods that I know are going to be used across the whole album. From how these sounds are chosen, processed, and also those hard-hitting drums. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is change the BPM to 144, and I want to get a piano sound. So I'm going to get a piano sound from the Instrument Essentials pack. Piano one shots. Let's use movie. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to change this so the note plays out for as long as we want. So I'm going to start with a C sharp minor chord, but what I'm going to do is put the D sharp minor in. And I'm going to pitch it up an octave. Let's go down an octave, full. Let's bring this out like this. Ooh. Let's copy that over. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, this is nice. Let's randomize the velocity and also the pan here. And what we're going to do is let's copy that over. So it's the same thing going through. But this last note here, let's bring it up to a G sharp. Even bring this one up like that. Ooh. Okay, cool. So we've got the first sound in. So the first thing I'm going to do is let's process that. So I'm going to add some Somatic Origin plugin to this. Let's add this like vinyl gritty sound to it. Okay, that is crazy. So let's get a violin one shot in. Ooh, gate is going to be so clean. All right, let's use this. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is do the same, but I'm going to keep the sustain and release just up just a tad. And let's go into the sound. We're going to start on the G sharp note. So it's like... But this sounds a bit boring. So one thing that they do is add slide notes. And with one shots, you can do this. So what I'm going to do is just add a note above the sound and just do this. Press those two buttons and make this a little bit short. So it's like... Let's go up to a C sharp line. Ooh. All right, let's send that to a mixer and let's add some plugins. Let's add reverb. And the first thing I'm going to put underneath it is Somatic's Origin plugin. Ooh, it's giving that vintage effect. That's sounding crazy. So the next sound I'm going to add is I'm going to add a texture from the texture pack, and let's bring the pure one in. Let's just pitch that up one. So in C sharp minor. That's crazy. Okay, let's add also let's add some vinyl crackle to that, just to add that vintage effect to it. So it sounds like it's sampled from like an old orchestra back in the day. It's so cinematic. So what I've just done is actually found the perfect Rhodes piano phrase from my kit. It's called Purpose. And I've sent it to the mixer. And I've also pitched it down 5 and it's given it this effect. Hear this. And the effects I've got on it are pretty simple. I've just got Somatic's Origin plugin and a bit of reverb. I was basically testing sounds to see if it worked. And I think that sounds perfect. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the piano mixer and let's just put an EQ on the piano so we can add a bass. Like that. And a minute ago, I just split these by channel and I can see we've got 5 sounds and I feel like it's sounding very full as it is right now. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bass and we're going to leave it as that. So we're gonna go to the one shot section, go to bass one shots, and let's use the Blizzard one. And we're just gonna copy the root notes, which is C sharp. In fact, let's use the blur one. These two are so hard to pick from. Yeah, definitely the blur one. I'll send that to the mixer. And on the mixer, I've already got Semantics Origin on, but I've just taken away the high pass filter. Just add a little bit of vintage effect. Go up to a G sharp here, and we're going to do the exact same thing as before. Make it slide. Let's make it a bit longer, so... Ooh, that's so nice. So what I'm actually going to do is the violin and the Rhodes, I'm just going to pan separately, so they've got their own spaces. Oh, that's clean. So one thing that I've actually realized what they do is they're going to pattern out the sample a little bit and export the sample to then resample. So I'm just going to do that now. So let's take away the bass. The bass is, we'll just add in normally. What I'm going to do is for the intro, I feel like the vinyl crackle and the texture on its own will be nice. I think for the second bit, just the violin on its own. I think for this part, in fact, we're going to have the vinyl crackle throughout. Yeah, I'm going to leave it like this. See what it sounds like. Clean. Yeah, that's very, very nice. So let's go on the master, record it down. And basically what I'm going to do with this is now pitch it up and pitch it down. And it really gives it that sample effect, which I know that's what Drake is looking for. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all of this, put that over here. And with the sample, let's bring the bass in. But I think what I want to do with this is I want to pitch it down. So let's go to stretch and bring it down 3. But you need to remember, bring down the bass 3. 1, 2, 3. So we're in A sharp. Ooh! So what I'm going to do now is let's bring up the BPM. Let's go to 155. Oh, it's got that stretch sound. Another thing you can do is we can go edit sample. We can change this sample rate. Let's go to like 10,000. In fact, let's go to 8, 1, 2, 3. Let's go resample. Press accept. We can drag it back in. You hear that little effect? It sounds properly sampled now. So that's the effect we want. Ooh, that's so clean. So you know what time it is now? It's time to add the drums. So let's open up a fresh pattern. And drum-wise, we're going to be using the Blueprint multi-kit only. And the drum sounds in here are perfect for these type of beats. So the first thing I'm going to do, because we're keeping it simple, is let's open up the loose hat. And it's just going to be 2-step. We might add some rolls later, but that's perfect for now. So let's get a snare in, and we're going to use the punch snare, but it doesn't sound Drakey, and this is what you have to do. So let's just put the pattern in. What you're going to do is pitch it up. I feel like early on we need to get that 808 in, so let's mute that. Use the go-to spins. And yeah, for now, this sounding crazy. Let's just simple bounce it like this. Ooh, this sounds crazy. Oh, do you know what effect we're going to put on the 808? Let's go to fast distortion like this. Get an open hat in. Let's get the Sony open hat in. Oh, let's get the new one in. So it's like. So yeah, Pretty much, they are the exact techniques that Drake's producers are going to be using for this album. So if you're trying to get your hands on the sounds, Instrument Essentials and the Blueprint multi-kit, they're linked in the description. Instrument Essentials is out very, very soon. I can't wait to give it to you guys because the sounds in this, they're already processed. You don't have to do too much processing. It's just turning the sounds into what you want them. So yeah, guys, if you did enjoy this video, make sure you hit a like, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one.